Doing good. How are you?
Same.
I'm good अभी ऐसा है आज बहुत important match है Arsenal versus Liverpool and I thought that I have to bring die-hard Arsenal fans here. So let's start with Nakul. How long have you been an Arsenal fan?
So, weirdly enough, it started when some Arsenal fans might call like a bad period is when we shifted to Emirates. I started in the 2006 season.
That's great. And what about you, Yash?
So I started supporting Arsenal like Nakul in the Emirates era. Grew up watching Cesc Fabregas and also yeah.
Wow, that's brilliant. So it means I understand the kind of struggle that you guys have been facing from the past few years, and it has not been good for you. But do you think that Arteta has given you hope, not just to finish in top four, but to actually go ahead and win a silverware? So what do you think, Yash, about that?
The last few games have been really fantastic. We've seen the team perform really well. They've gelled well, and big shout out to Martin Odegaard. I guess he's having the games of his life. I'm really optimistic this time around. We couldn't do it at Anfield. You guys came back to the Emirates and kicked us out of the cup. But this time, I'm pretty confident that maybe we'll turn this around. Although Liverpool, let's face it, they're a very good team. They're in form, but I am a positive and optimistic Arsenal fan, so I'll keep my hopes up.
That's true. That's true. That's very nicely said. So what do you think, Nakul, tactically,
Yeah,
what Arteta has changed over the years?
I think the most prominent thing that we can see, जो मतलब सबसे ज़्यादा clearly दिखने में आ रहा है, that is that Arsenal did not used to press high as much earlier that they do now. वो मतलब ओडेगार्ड एंड पीपल लाइक ओडेगार्ड लैकाजेट का तो लाइक हमें पता ही है कि लाइक इवन इफ ही कांट कंट्रीब्यूट गोल्स वो करेगा बट द मेन थिंग एज यू आस्क्ड फॉर मी लाइक या हैज टू डेफिनेटली बी द प्रेसिंग दैट आर्सेनल डज अप हाई
No,
like
that is true.
defenders push forward, yeah.
Yeah, come on, just go on. Come on.
No. So, Nini, I just wanted to make this thing that because of a goalkeeper, defenders get confidence. Because of defenders, midfielders get confidence. That's why Partey has been able to win balls, pass it back to Odegaard, and doing one-twos. Earlier, he was just too busy trying to get the ball back to, even think about creativity up here. But now he has. So, yeah.
Who has like changed their game plan or somebody who has surprised you so much? Who is that player under Arteta, Yash?
I think the biggest change has been in our line of defense, but I think Aaron Ramsdale has been the biggest impact of all. Last game week, he made a brilliant point blank save, which and he pumps up the defenders. Like he gives them that confidence that yeah, I am the last man standing and I can take it, which has been missing from Arsenal. I just saw this crazy stat that we haven't yet scored from a corner, which is so ironical given the fact that we've been so loose during set pieces and all of that. So,
Hmm.
but that has been really great. And Aaron Ramsdale, he's oozing out this kind of passion and energy within the defenders and all. And it's just been crazy. It's really exciting to be an Arsenal fan right now because of everything that's happening, and this is just with one full-fledged season of Arteta getting all the players that he wants. I'm pretty confident going forward we will be a force to reckon with. It's similar to what Liverpool did. Like they weren't getting that right click, but when Van Dijk came in, the team just
Yeah.
started clicking. Van Dijk and Allison, they changed the game completely. And I'm hoping that if we get a good striker, I was really gutted when we couldn't get Vlahovic, because personally I felt that he was the ideal forward for us, given the type of game we play. But yeah, I'm really optimistic, and Aaron Ramsdale has to be hands down, and Martin Odegaard. Actually, it's all of the players. So yeah.
No, I understand when the team starts gelling up, it's very difficult to pick one player because you understand the contribution of each and every one out there. So even that
Yeah.
happens with me when somebody asks me who's the player that's, changing the gameplay for Liverpool. But you can't pick one because like Arteta
Yeah.
rightly said in his press conference that there's a cultural change in Liverpool's game that you
Yeah.
see right now. And that's visible. And that's what I'm very proud of when it comes to Liverpool. So Nakul, who is that player for you that you think has changed completely under Arteta?
For me, I think this might not be the answer that you're looking for, but the fact that Partey, who came in, gave a very good performance against United and then just sort of mellowed down. Arteta has finally, because of the pressing that Odegaard and Saka and Martinelli and Lacazette do up top, he has finally found a way to use that. And it shows the way Partey, while winning the ball, he's already thinking of, trying to make that interlinking pass with Odegaard, or he's trying to spray it out towards the side to Saka. So it's like you can't, your mind starts to wonder ki how can a person thinks about first predicting the attacker so that he can win the ball back, and second to immediately think about passing it ahead.
Hmm.
So yeah,
That's
Partey for me
that's great,
definitely.
yeah. Yeah, थॉमस पार्टी का गेम तो लाइक डेफिनेटली चेंज हुआ इवन कि जब एफकॉन के लिए पीपल हैड टू गो आई थॉट चलो अच्छा है थॉमस पार्टी नहीं है मतलब दिस आर सम प्लेयर्स आर रियली गुड यार मजा आता है देख के चलो तुमको भी होगा कि साला माने कीटा नहीं है उस टाइम गेम में चलो वॉट एवर हैपन कोविड केसेस थे इंजरी केसेस थे बहुत सारे बट नाउ आई थिंक इट्स गोइंग टू बी अ प्रॉपर मैच बिटवीन आर्सेनल एंड लिवरपूल बिकॉज व्हाट आई थिंक एंड करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग दैट इट्स जस्ट टोमियासो हु इज इंजर्ड राइट who won't be
Yeah.
available for the match. एंड फॉर लिवरपूल इट्स मोहम्मद साला का है मतलब ट्रेन किया है उसने बट स्टिल जेम्स मिलनर एंड सिमिकस का इलनेस थोड़ा इशू है सो दे वोंट बी अवेलेबल बाकी रेस्ट ऑफ द लाइक टीम इज ओके तो स्टिल मतलब बहुत अच्छा कंपटीशन होगा दोनों में तो इट विल बी गुड टू सी दैट व्हाट हैपेंस इन द मैच बट आई हैव टू आस्क यू एंड आई स्टार्ट विद यश दैट Aubameyang has left Arsenal and he was the captain and everything that happened with it but just clicked or worked at Camp
Yeah.
Nou. What changed?
So I think we've seen this with Aubameyang, and I have very big respect for him because of the contribution that he's had for the club. Even during our, when we are almost at the bottom according to our standards, he was the one who stepped up, and he individually won games with his goals, right? So I have that respect for him, but I think somewhere deep down over the last 18 months before he left Arsenal, he something must have happened internally. We've heard rumors of fallout between him and the manager, him going to France and coming back late and not reporting for training, and that was not the first instance. I can relate that to his end of his tenure when he was there in Dortmund. Similar things happened, but when he came into Arsenal and he started banging in goals left, right, and center, right? So that is something. And I remember I was in college with Nakul at that time when we watched that game against Everton when Aubameyang, it was his first match. Aaron Ramsey, he scored, and Mkhitaryan, he passed the ball to Aubameyang. So that was a really good match. And Aubameyang, I think he's doing really well in Barcelona, but now let's see, like he's gone. But after he's went, I think we haven't missed him as much as we would have liked.
Hmm.
But I think Lacazette has immensely contributed, although not by contributing in goals, but the link up play, his hold up outside the penalty box, and all of that has been fantastic. And I love Lacazette. He's kind of the anchorman in between that attack of Saka and Martinelli and Emil Smith Rowe. He allows that interplay with Odegaard, so that's
Hmm.
really fantastic. So for me, big respect to Aubameyang, but we don't miss him anymore. Although he's doing good for Barcelona, and that's really good for him in his career. But I think it's good for us to move forward from him. So yeah.
I think that is the perfect combination, कि ठीक है एक player that is not working out for you well has left the club और उसके बाद वो तुम्हारा ex player है and has contributed so much for your club लेकिन वहां जाके भी वो ठीक ठाक कर रहे हैं तो I think this is a very good scenario for a player like him because I can we call him a club legend, Nakul?
No matter what I say, I'll be killed by a certain section. So, legend, I think the word legend has too much respect, and we've grown into a habit of using it too frequently. He has been one of the greatest players that has played for an Arsenal shirt, yes, in terms of his ability and his contribution. But a club legend, no. Like a club legend is someone, who's not embroidered in any sort of controversy at all. And with the sort of, I get with Aubameyang, he was late and everything, but all of these disciplinary issues, they aren't even a factor for a term or a, how do you say, a generalization for the word legend that we use. So no, Yeah, my answer would be no. Aubameyang is not a club legend, but that is not to doubt his ability by any ऐसे मतलब उसको गाली नहीं दे रहा मैं, लेकिन he holds a very special place in my heart. Yes, लेकिन अभी Arteta, I'll always support Arsenal over any player. I mean, it might sound a little heartless, but अभी club बड़ा है player से, so
Yeah.
I think I had to pick a side, and it was Arteta.
No, that is well said, क्योंकि आजकल हमने मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड में ये देखा था दैट Mourinho टाइम स्पेशली दैट प्लेयर्स वर गेटिंग बिगर देन द क्लब एंड हर नीड एंड चीज, चलो उनके बारे में भी लेट्स नॉट इवन टॉक अबाउट बिकॉज दे गोइंग थ्रू अ
Lord
वेरी रफ
Kepa.
actually. So, Abhi, I want to ask you this really very different sort of a question, and that is that I'll just list the name of players to you, and you have to rank these players in order of their importance to the squad, and first being the highest, and then you go accordingly. Done. So, I'll start with Yash. So these are the four players, and you have to rank them. First is Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, and Smith. So in order of their importance to the squad.
All the best.
Um, it's quite a difficult one actually. So you said
Odegaard,
Odegaard,
Martinelli.
Saka, Martinelli, and Emil Smith Rowe, right? So
Yeah.
given the current form, I would say Odegaard. Then I would say it has to be our impact player of the bench, Emil Smith Rowe. I think it's a tie between Emil Smith Rowe and Martinelli.
Ellie.
His goal against, I think that was it was Brentford, right? Nakul, the belter which he shot from. Uh,
Oh yeah. No,
yeah, yeah,
I think it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
We've
Martinelli
been scoring
and
so many good goals recently. It's hard to keep track.
exactly. So yeah, and I think after that it's really difficult. I'll just pick the top two and I'll let it rest there. Because all of
So
them are
it's
playing really well and they're impactful players right now. Like it would be, you know, it won't be justice if I just rank them accordingly because they're playing also well. And it's been a long time, and I think as Arsenal fans, we deserve to see these kind of games now.
Yeah,
that's
we
good.
trying to keep our mouth shut as much as we can. We don't want to jinx it. We don't want to
Yeah,
do anything, not poke the bear,
yeah.
nothing. जैसा हो रहा है होने दो.
So
Uh,
Nakul, what is your ranking?
Uh, I have a sort of bias towards creative midfielders. So Odegaard for me right now is the most important part of that midfield. It is because he started like Saka was playing well before, Smith Rowe was playing well before. Martinelli has always been a legend whenever he comes on. But the fact that now we're actually, winning 5 in a row, 6 in a row, 7 in a row, like that. Now that for me, Odegaard has to be the most important part. Matlab, Saka is a better, I would say, a threat. Yes, Saka ko ball milegi, he'll be more dangerous on his own ability. Yes, but अगर Odegaard को ball मिलेगी तो वो कुछ भी कर सकता है. He can pass to anyone, he can shoot himself, he can do link ups, कुछ भी वो. So Odegaard
yeah.
definitely on the top.
And
But
they don't
again,
have their yeah.
nahi, that's exactly. I'm so sorry I interrupted you because you were making the exact point which I was saying. The thing about these rankings is right, like automatically आप बोलोगे कोई first है ना, तो नीचे लोग सोचेंगे जो second third है, like they're absolute like नीचे एकदम bottom of the pile वाला, but ऐसा नहीं है.
Hmm.
ओडेगार्ड क्रिएट कर ले, बट आगे मतलब मैनुअल मतलब सॉरी मारवान शामाक और ऐसा टीमो वर्नर जैसे स्ट्राइकर होंगे तो नहीं हो पाएगा कुछ. So yeah, but Saka is the guy. Saka and Martinelli are the guys that are thanking Odegaard with these passes. So I would put Martinelli second, Saka and Smith Rowe again tie. But if you want to ask me who's more important, then Saka. Yeah.
If you ask me one player that I'm actually very scared of facing Arsenal right now, I think I'll go for Saka. Though I understand what Odegaard, Martinelli, Emil Smith Rowe have been doing for the club, but like you said, Nanakul, ki वो एक threat provide करता है, तो that's what he is. So as an opposition, I have to face him once or twice, right? And that is when he can bring those sort of things. He was unstoppable against Liverpool, and I was scared कि भाई उसको रोक लो, चाहे दो defenders लगा दो उसके पीछे, उसको रोक लो, बाकी हम थोड़ा manage कर लेंगे. Because I feel that Bukayo Saka is one of the generation players which I think will come from Arsenal. So that's what I feel about Bukayo Saka. But
तुम्हारे
let's talk
मैनेजर के साथ ये दिक्कत है ना कि he anticipates all of these things. He knows that Saka is a threat, so he'll whoever he thinks is the threat, is actually the threat. I don't know how he is so in sync with Arsenal, but वो बोलेगा कि like no matter what happens, you don't let that guy breathe. And Liverpool करेगी वो. Like Liverpool have the
Yeah,
ability and they have that mentality in the starting 11 कि वो नहीं लेने दे, सांस नहीं लेने देंगे. They'll not let that guy move, not control, not pass, not even touch and receive the ball for like 2 seconds. तो वो
That
it'll be
happens with us
interesting.
as well, but that happens with us as well. Like Abhi Mohammad Salah ko, I think everybody man marks him. So very little of Mohammad Salah you will see, him being involved in the game at all. So that is why I feel ki ye to hoga whenever you see some of the players that are so threatening because they can get goals from anywhere. So मेरे को भी यही शिकायत है हमेशा हर टीम से यार मोहम्मद साला को ऐसा मार्क कर लेते हैं उसके बाद कहाँ से स्पेस निकालेगा इंस्टेड देयर टू डिफेंडर्स और समबडी जो उसके साथ हमेशा होंगे बट दैट्स व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड बट अभी पता नहीं मोहम्मद साला होगा कि नहीं बट लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन यश यू टेल मी व्हिच इज दैट वन लिवरपूल प्लेयर that you don't want to face in this match.
I never want to face Sadio Mane. I don't know what is it about that guy. He becomes some sort of a different player when he starts playing against Arsenal. Like he has teared down our defenses innumerable times and provided for I think Roberto Firmino, and he's also provided for Mohamed Salah. Salah is on a different level altogether. Let's be honest about that. And so if I have to pick among those two, I think Sadio Mane against Arsenal specifically has the bigger impact whenever I've seen the matches. But yeah, Salah, given he scored more goals or anything, I'm not too sure about the stats exactly. But yeah, Sadio Mane has to be my pick.
And what about you, Nakul?
Uh, I People might not agree, but for me, I hate Firmino. Ever since David Silva, I know Liverpool fans might disagree because Firmino has not been this thing, and he might not even start. Jota might start, right?
Yeah, it's going. I think it's going to be Jota, Mane, and अगर मोहम्मद साला नहीं है तो definitely Luis Diaz.
So the thing with Firmino is right, like people like he doesn't score a lot of goals, so people don't realize the first touch on that guy is incredible. This ball
Yeah.
control, कहाँ से he'll flick, he'll pass close situations when you don't even think that you can receive the ball. He'll receive the ball, do a turn or something, and just like leave people standing. Like his ball control is after David Silva and sorry, after Messi, Iniesta, David Silva, and all. Like I think he's just there.
That makes me so proud. Like वैसा नहीं होता है कि हम अपनों के लिए वैसे सुन के होते हैं because the thing is Firmino का contribution in the game I think that person would understand जो कि actually में लिवरपूल के games देखता है क्योंकि क्या होता है ना whenever you rank players related to Liverpool तो Firmino का नाम नहीं आएगा उधर and sometimes that hurts you and even Klopp says this thing a lot many times that you know Firmino का रोल एक ऐसा रोल है जो कि हिस्ट्री में लिखा जाएगा because that's what he does and he has been so good for the club तो जब भी वो इंजर्ड होता है आई नो दैट पीपल से तुम्हारे पास जोटा लुइस डियाज यही है कौन सा फर्मिनो ने शुरू करना है बट आई अंडरस्टैंड द गाय द काइंड ऑफ थ्रेट दैट ही कैन प्रोवाइड फॉर एनी team out there. That's what Firmino does, and I loved your answers. And I told you, mainly it's Bukayo Saka. And if I'm going if going into the game right now, this particular match, I think it's Ramsdale that I'm very, very scared of. That I hope that he doesn't. He is a world class goalkeeper, but I just hope that he doesn't produce another masterclass today. I don't want it. Just because I know that how difficult it gets for us to score then. And let's talk about the negatives in the team. I know there have been such good performances by Arsenal, but is there one area that Liverpool can exploit? So we'll start with Nakul.
Let me just. Which edition do you want? I have a lot of books on things wrong with Arsenal. कौन सा चाहिए मेरे को book का वो chapter खोलना पड़ेगा. But no, the biggest thing that Liverpool can exploit about Arsenal is the same thing Arsenal can exploit about Liverpool. Is that Liverpool generally play with a high line, but if Arsenal start playing well early on, their defense, even though it's starting to play good, but in terms of experience, it's still like comparatively far off from Van Dijk and Matip or even Van Dijk and Gomez. So yeah, I mean, if Arsenal start playing well early on, which is a good thing, there is a possibility that Arsenal players might go forward, and I don't need to explain what Liverpool can do on counters.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. What do you think, Yash? What is that one thing that
I
Liverpool can
I
exploit?
agree with Nakul. I agree with Nakul. I think we get carried away sometimes, and that comes back to haunt us. I think we've saved a lot of these counter attacks, but that was against, again, no disrespect to any team, but smaller teams as compared to Arsenal and Liverpool. But let's face it, the two teams fighting it out at the top of the league is Liverpool and City right now, and these two teams will punish you if there's even one small mistake. So we always have to be on our feet, and for the entire 90 minutes today, I guess. There's no
I
room
think
for
I
mistake
I
in Liverpool.
agree with you, for this thing तो you're right about that क्योंकि लिवरपूल का भी सेम प्रॉब्लम है। हम भी बहुत हाई लाइन खेलते हैं, तो क्या होता है समटाइम्स माटिप में इतना पेस नहीं है एंड आई एम श्योर दैट माटिप इज गोइंग टू स्टार्ट इन दिस वन। बट देखना लाइनअप में कोनाटे आएगा मतलब मेरे साथ हमेशा यही होता है जो भी मैं सोचती हूँ उसके ऑपोजिट होता है बट देन इफ इट्स वर्जिल वन डाइक एंड माटिप तो होता है कि हम आगे जाएंगे ऑब्वियसली हाई लाइन है तो हमारा बट ऑफसाइड ट्रैप इज डैम गुड। आई डोंट नो हाउ डू दे डू दैट, मुझे लगता है ये तो गया, ये तो गोल है क्योंकि हमने इतने ऑफसाइड ट्रैप में लाइक वी हैव कॉट प्लेयर्स इन लाइन में माटिप के पास पेस नहीं है तो वो एक वर्टिकल बॉल आता है बीच में एंड आर्सेनल इज सच अ वाइब्रेंट यंग टीम सो पेस का कमी नहीं है उनके पास, वो भागेंगे आगे बॉल लेके एंड दे कैन गेट द गोल। सो इट्स दैट इज वन थिंग दैट आई एम वरिड अबाउट बट व्हेन इट कम्स टू अगर मैं बोलूँ वर्जिल वैन डाइक एंड कोनाटे आई वुड लाइक टू स्टार्ट कोनाटे इन दिस वन क्योंकि कोनाटे में थोड़ा पेस है, एथलेटिसिज्म है, तो वो थोड़ा आई थिंक ही कैन रीड द गेम बेटर स्पेशली इन दिस वन बिकॉज ही इज ऑल्सो वेरी यंग प्लेयर। So I would like to go with Konate, but that is the problem that I think that Arsenal and Liverpool both have going into the game. तो अच्छा होगा, एक game of errors होगा, अगर कुछ उसी चीज पे रहा तो that'll be fun to watch as well. Let's, one thing, just last question that just came into my mind talking about Arsenal. Ranveer Singh.
Hmm.
So I we have to talk about Ranveer Singh. Like, what is happening? Like, is it good thing that such a high profile actor follows Arsenal and openly follows Arsenal? And even though Tottenham भी गया है, Man United भी गया है, everything, चलो वो तो एक collaboration था जो भी था, but then he's a gunner. So what do you think that is it good for the club that you will get even more fans and following and everything that can happen good with the club? Anybody who wants to take first.
जो भी like whoever's feeling bad about this, I'm sure, I'm 99% sure he's either a United fan or a Chelsea fan about Arsenal getting the publicity. Because Liverpool and Arsenal both understand the pain of not winning things for long. So like
Yeah.
we sort of vibe on that level. But these two, I don't like. I want to keep this family friendly. But these two entities, right, Man United and Chelsea, like they are very. I've found them to be a lot like they just take Arsenal's case because it's cool. Like everyone's doing it, so like we'll also do it. Like randomly out of the blue, nowhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean like that's what I think it is, but it's good. I mean finally Arsenal is, and let me be honest, you will not find a fake Arsenal fan. I can guarantee my
Yeah.
life on that. Like there's just not possible. Like they've all been weeded out because of us for like 10-15 years of consistently not being consistent at all.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's good. It can only help, bring in more for the club.
I think
Okay.
for fans outside of England, within England, I think the archest of rivals for Arsenal and their fans is Tottenham, right? But for us,
Mhm.
I have rarely seen a Tottenham fan, and my stories about Tottenham fans are really, really funny. And I don't want to, diss any club right now.
Because of what is happening to them or because they are funny?
Both. But yeah. So uh, I think Ranveer has been a long time admirer of Arsenal, and I think it's not one of those cases where just random celebrities they pick up jerseys and yeah, people say that yeah, there's another he's another fan or she's another fan or something like that. So I think Ranveer, especially after AFTV's interview, I got to understand that no, he follows the game, he understands it well, and
Mhm.
he's also the Premier League ambassador for India, right?
I'm sorry to
So
cut you, पर पूरा गेम बता दिया था बंदे ने कि what is going to happen.
exactly,
And I'm like, man.
exactly. Ah,
Yeah,
he's and
continue.
if he's correct, I anyways I like his acting. I love his movies also, But if he's correct, then I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably tweet him. That's the least I can do. So
Padma
that's something.
Bhushan next year, bro.
Padma Bhushan. We Arsenal
Next.
fans will take out a petition for Padma Bhushan. Our social media game is strong. We we surpass so many things. So yeah, I think
क्योंकि सर
that's
इतना
a really
ओपनली
good.
बोला है, इतने बड़े चैनल पे बोला है, imagine if that happens, and I'm sure that something like that
Yeah,
happens, I think Ranveer Singh is going to
yeah,
have another sort of fan following after all this.
yeah.
So that's quite good for Arsenal as well. I feel, even though I would have loved to have him in Liverpool, just because of one thing, क्योंकि I love his energy, and I know not many people can bear that, but मुझे बहुत पसंद है वो, just because of the
क्लॉप तो
energy
उसी
that
को
he
कैम खिला
has.
क्लॉप तो उसी को कैम खिलाता।
Hmm.
नहीं हो,
खेल
हाँ
भाई
सही
प्रेस
Everything
में।
कर।
is fine with them.
Just imagine, but then let's see आगे कहाँ तक क्या जाता है, but right now I think things have been very very good for Arsenal. I know you guys had a long period of sadness or whatever it was without a proper team, but Arteta ने किया है जिस तरीके से किया है and जिस तरीके से बैकिंग मिला है, I feel उसको, because I don't think that उसने आते ही impact डाला था गेम में, because obviously anybody is going to take time. I think that was the best thing, that time दिया उसको, and he built a good squad, he had good signings. But just if you're talking about signings, then what areas are Arsenal going to target in the summer transfer window? Nakul, let's start with you.
The first thing that they need to target is the perfect partner for Partey and Odegaard. So Xhaka, good, like full respect to him, but like comparing it to their two level, both of their level, sorry, he is not at the this thing. He is the weakest link in our midfield. So a good, and I would say not a central midfielder because we have that, not a cam, we have that. A good defensive midfielder, because Partey is good, but like let's be honest, like he's more of a center mid like than a proper DM. So like someone who can really shore up the defense, वो proper एक CDM मांगता है. And if we only sign one, which we should not, we should sign two or three. But if we only sign one, then DM. But then हमारा क्लब इतना होशियार है ना कि we basically have no striker in this summer. Like literally, like we have zero strikers. To even have a decent team of strikers, हम लोग को 3 साइनिंग तो करनी पड़ेगी. कि एक
Yeah.
इंजर हो गया, एक थका हुआ है. So I don't know what their plan is. Like सब पूरा का पूरा बजट इनको स्ट्राइकर पे करना है. But for me, let's be honest, like DM would help with no striker at all.
Hmm.
Because Pele, Liverpool was the only team doing this. Like, let's be honest, Firmino is not like really a striker. He is not that.
Hmm.
And now Pep is also doing it. Without a striker, he's topping the league table. So maybe like strikers के बिना भी हो सकता है. And I don't know if it will work for Arsenal, but like if it's clearly worked for 2-3 people. And अरे Chelsea भी तो false nine खेलती है टीम वर्नर के साथ. तो या
They
ये
have
मेरे मेरे
look.
like any
Hmm.
rant of mine ना इसमें बीच में Chelsea के थोड़े digs आएंगे. Like I really have something against Chelsea supporters.
So what do you think, Yash? What is the area
I
that?
I think if January has been any indication, then striker ke liye to we'll be going all out. Now, whether it's one striker or two striker, I'm of the opinion that we need two strikers. I feel we need to give Balogun a chance. He's a really good
Hmm.
player. I personally feel that Nketiah, he's not signing the contract. He's about to leave and everything. He Instead of starting him, we could have gone with Balogun because he's quality. He's of, if not greater than Nketiah, but also similar quality hai usko. So that is there, and I think we need. Cedric has had a good patch of games, but we need another right back to back up Tomiyasu because, like Nakul said, that there are Xhaka is one of the main weak links. But I feel for today's game, Xhaka के साथ Cedric भी है. थोड़ा सा मेरे को उसका भी डर है. ठीक है. So
Cedric and
Cedric
Luis
might.
Diaz का battle होने वाला ना आज.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about the opponent as much as I'm worried about Cedric.
I was
That's
just
the
thinking
point
about
I'm
the
trying.
game आज के बारे में कि हाँ सेड्रिक और लुइस डियाज होने वाले हैं उधर, so that'll be fun
हाँ
because
वही
Luis
मतलब
Diaz.
Yeah,
it's
so
like
Cedric is.
not having it's not about not being afraid of that attacking player. It's about having faith in your defender's abilities that you're scared.
Yeah, exactly. And I think even though Nakul, I think you might agree with me on this. Although we're in a good run of form, it for me it's always fingers crossed. Ki कभी भी कुछ भी हो सकता है bro. Let's be
It's football.
realistic.
That's football, you know.
Yeah,
जितना मर्जी अच्छा
देखा
फॉर्म है, अभी
है
क्रिस्टल पैलेस ने 1 पॉइंट ले लिया वहां से मैनचेस्टर
exactly.
सिटी से, 12 पॉइंट का डिफरेंस था बिटवीन लिवरपूल एंड सिटी, एंड that puts me under a lot of pressure because it gets very difficult for me to watch the games then. मेरे को था चल ठीक है 12 पॉइंट्स का डिफरेंस है, देखा जाएगा, नॉट पॉसिबल टू विन. नाउ दैट आई हैव होप, एंड दैट्स व्हाट किल्स यू, इवन या तो
Yeah,
कुछ अच्छा होगा या नहीं, बट दैट्स व्हाट किल्स यू व्हेन इट कम्स टू लिवरपूल एनीवे. Let's move on to predictions. This is the last thing, the prediction of the match. So, what do you think, Yash? What is going to be the, you know, score in the match?
I I I'll be optimistic as an Arsenal fan. I have massive respect for Liverpool. Uh, I Out of all the football friends that I have, I think I respect Liverpool fans the most. I like Nakul. I hate Chelsea, and I hate United. And I've never seen Tottenham. So I think, despite all of this, I'll go with a 2-1 for Arsenal with that similar prediction that that Ranveer made, that in the last minute Emil Smith Rowe is going to score the winner for us. And plus, it's our home ground, and we've I think, barring the match against Liverpool during the cup, I think we've played really good at home. So I think the crowd will be behind the team, and if they can produce something like they did against Manchester City, leaving aside the mistakes that we committed, reckless tackles and all of that, I think it is going to be a good game, and 2-1 is my prediction.
All right. So, Nakul, what do you think?
पहले तो मेरा भी वही था बट ऑब्वियसली आई कांट से द सेम थिंग नाउ लोग बोलेंगे ये चीटिंग कर रहा
नहीं,
है
कोई बात नहीं. Whatever your
नहीं नहीं नो
prediction
नो
is.
it's I was just joking it wasn't going to be 2-1 anyways he's way more optimistic uh I want Arsenal, I want to say 1-0, I want to say 2-1, I even want to say 2-0, like some madness. But I know after having watched Arsenal for so many years, there is this one mistake that will come and hit us out of nowhere. Like sab sahi chal raha hoga. We've seen in the last few games, Gabriel made a mistake in that Wolves wala game, which led to Ramsdale being just stranded on the box. Xhaka to matlab wo to dekhega, he'll look at a player, referee will card him or something. But yeah, I mean that's what worries me. Like, I want to say happily and like with chest ki, like, yes, like we'll win. Yeah, Emirates pe hai, we have a good team, we have a chance. But two things: one, I know what Liverpool is, and two, I know my club better than anyone. So I know what they're capable of. They're capable of surprising you in the wrong sense. So
Hmm.
I am going to still try to be optimistic, and I'm going to say it'll be a draw.
It'll be a draw.
So
So,
that
it's
is,
1-1
yeah.
or 2-2.
Mm, no, it's going to be 2-2. Yeah, sorry. I didn't hear that 2-2 in the end.
All right, 2-2. So, I know Liverpool has been good, but I also know that sometimes it gets difficult for us. So, क्या होता है, मेरे चैनल पे लोग बोलते हैं कि तुम बहुत डराते हो कि प्रिडिक्शन के लेके, ये सब तुम बहुत डरते हो लिवरपूल को लेके. बट द थिंग इज, इंटर के मैच में मैंने बोला था कि 1-0 रहेगा इन फेवर ऑफ लिवरपूल. उस टाइम पे भी लोगों ने मुझे बोला दैट आराम से 3 गोल मारेगा लिवरपूल. बट यू अंडरस्टैंड समटाइम्स, इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. हमारे इतने मैचेस हो रहे हैं, इतने फिक्सचर्स होते हैं, तो हर गेम में दे हैव टू परफॉर्म. हमको विन मिल जाए, दैट्स गुड इनफ फॉर मी. सो आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू गो फॉर अ 1-0 विन टू लिवरपूल. आई थिंक इतना होगा. I'll be happy because we need the 3 points. Come on, let's be honest. And Arsenal has game in hand, so it's not like they have anything to lose right now. Yeah, come on. So I know important things
Barclays,
to do.
Barclays favor league.
नहीं, at the end it's like I see. Come on, you have game in hands and top four है तुम्हारे पास, so that's possible. Let's see. But then
The
all the best
only
to you
thing,
both.
the only thing that will help me sleep tonight is, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I can. थोड़ा
Yeah, yeah.
I think
So,
lag हो रहा है. Yeah.
the only thing that will help me sleep better tonight is the fact that even if we lose our three games in hand, we'll still be 1 point above United.
Yeah. And still have games in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Sorry, how
you have
many?
2 games in hands, na? Two.
Yeah, we
I
have
think
two games
Oh,
in
you'll.
yeah.
hand.
हाँ,
One
2
more
गेम
game.
इन हैंड्स. या दैट विल बी गुड. या मतलब तुम्हारे लिए तो रिजल्ट काफी सही रहेगा. बाकी ऑल द बेस्ट टू यू बोथ. आई हैड सो मच फन टॉकिंग टू यू अबाउट आर्सेनल एंड लिवरपूल. आई थिंक दिस वाज द काइंड ऑफ लाइक मैच आई वांटेड टू रिकॉर्ड अबाउट विद ट्रू आर्सेनल सपोर्टर्स. कि मजा आए उनसे बात करके, दैट व्हाट दे हैव बीन गोइंग थ्रू. एंड अभी अच्छा फॉर्म है, तो अभी बहुत अच्छा टाइम है बुलाने का भी. सो I'm sorry, I think lag हो रहा है. So I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Thank you. And I'll like call you again maybe after the match or something. Let's see if I can like come up with something. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you had fun.
Yep, we
All
did.
right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All, all right, bye.
Bye.